Hey coffee cuties, we are back with another banger, and today we are going to be discussing, is it insulting to use the word nappy when describing our natural kinky coily hair? So let's just get right into it. So this has been going somewhat viral, trending on TikTok, and I just knew I had to jump in and give my opinion on the topic when it comes to the word nappy. So in order to tackle this conversation properly, I am going to first start with the definition of nappy hair. So nappy hair is a term used to describe tightly coiled or tightly curly hair, often referring to the hair texture of people with African descent. The word nappy, as we know, has a lot of historical and cultural significance. And as well, we know the word nappy has also historically been rooted in a lot of racism and discrimination to describe the texture of black hair. So many feel these days that the word nappy is derogatory and has never been in a positive light, etc. And others feel like the word nappy is not inherently offensive on its own because it describes what our hair is to some people. With some people's opinion, they feel like our hair is tightly coily or curly, so they don't feel like the word is inherently offensive. In other groups of people, they are familiar with the past and the racism, discrimination, etc. But similar to the other N-word, they want to reclaim the word altogether and spin it and put a more positive connotation to it, kind of again how the hip-hop community and various other communities within the black sector have done with the N-word. But during this video, I want us coffee cuties to think about that if someone walked up to you and called your hair nappy, would you feel like they were giving you a compliment, aka would you feel positive or negative about your hair? And with that being said, I'm going to insert two videos with two different women. They have different opinions when it comes to the word nappy, and then we're just going to jump right back into more conversation.
Truer words have never been spoken. For context, we're talking about the word nappy. There's a severely ill white woman making videos talking about how she was white, but she was Middle Eastern, but she was still white, and she got called a racist in college for saying the word nappy. Yeah, bitch, it's not a nice word. Even when black people say it, I'm like, you could have said curly, you could have said thick hair, you could have said anything else, but you wanted to say nappy.
Oh, I must not got the memo. Nappy? I didn't know that it had a negative connotation in the dictionary. And furthermore, nappy is not negative. Nappy hair is beautiful hair. Nappy hair is good hair. Nappy hair is all of that. It's scrumptious. Nappy hair is the best hair. I don't care what you say. Nappy is healthy. Nappy is good. Nappy is not. Natural. Yes, it's natural. It's not negative. I don't know why that definition. I think y'all do that on your own. I think y'all just sit in your brains, think of something negative to make the word mean, and be like, yeah, they got a new word. We gonna make it negative. If we get a silk press, it's cultural appropriation. If we got little naps in the back, it's negative. What's wrong with y'all? Stop. Ooh.
All right, we are back, and as you can see, we have two opposing opinions when it comes to the word nappy. So we're just going to break this up into a few parts. And first, we're going to start with the N-word. Both N-words within the community that holds a lot of past trauma, pain, racism, discrimination, etc. One ending in ER and one being nappy. So again, a lot of people are feeling like they want to reclaim the power surrounding these past slurs and just basically reform the word into something positive, while other people are feeling like they both have equal negative connotations surrounding them. And some people, when I was watching some different interviews, etc., they actually felt like the word nappy was more derogatory than the N word with the ER at the end. Now, I'm going to have to push back on that. Personally, I don't use the ER or A at the end when it comes to that N word, and I really don't use the word nappy either. But if someone told me which word would you add to your vocabulary, I'm going to have to spin nappy into a positive realm personally versus the N word. But I don't judge people who do decide, if you are black, do decide to reclaim either N word and use it into a positive, because we all have our own unique way of approaching some of the harsh things that we have faced throughout history, etc. But next, we're going to get into the category of white people. One of the girls, the first girl within the video that was opposing people use the word nappy, she kind of briefly touched on white people and also excused the language. I don't know how to bleep cuss words out yet, but if you know how to do that, help your girl out. But anyway, I want to ask the question, would you be okay if you are one of the ones that are okay with reclaiming the word nappy and using it positively? Would you be okay with a white person using the word nappy as well? Or would you draw the line at only Black people using the word if you are, again, one that wants to reclaim the word nappy? And I don't know why this made me think about that white guy who was like a basketball commentator, and he was commentating women's college basketball, and he was calling the Black girls, again, he was white, an older white guy, I think his name was Sid Rosenberg. I hope I got the right guy, but nevertheless, he was on the microphone. He was like, man, we got some nappy-headed beep HOEs in here, referring to Black women. He actually got fired for that, but would you be okay living in a world where white people or people of different races just freely called us nappy-headed, etc.? Where does the line draw if you are okay with reclaiming the word? And I also want to ask, how would you feel if you're like, I'm okay with white people using the word, I'm also okay with reclaiming the word, etc.? My next question is, how would you feel if other races of people describe their hair as nappy? Now, I know that we as Black people are not the only ones with 4C hair or type 4 hair, period. There are other admixtures that do have type 4 hair. However, the majority of people with type 4 hair, as we know from the definition, comes from African descent. But how, for example, because Indians, sometimes they do have a thicker hair texture. How would you feel if you were encountering the Indian or anyone of a different race, and they were describing their own hair as nappy? Now, for me personally, I feel like that should be something that is gate-kept rather to just Black people. I just feel like because of our history, the discrimination, again, the racism, all the derogatory slurs and all the things that we had to put up with, the colorism, the texturism, all of that leading to the Crown Act with the hair discrimination that we had to face, and we had to get laws passed to improve. I just wouldn't feel comfortable with other races of people claiming a word that basically belongs to us, whether we choose to use it or not. But in my personal opinion, in my life, I feel like when I hear the word nappy, it is typically used to describe someone being your hair being unkept or undone, matted, dry, etc. And on this channel, I do like to teach that words have power, and saying these words, I do understand that we can reclaim it and we can make it a better thing, etc. But as it stands right now, with not a clear distinction of how we're going to choose to maneuver the word nappy, I feel like it, unfortunately, to majority of people have a more negative connotation. So me personally, I don't use the word nappy again because of all the past racism, discrimination, etc. I rather use more positive, uplifting words to describe my hair that is undeniably positive, such as coily, kinky coily, spirally, fro, textured hair, etc. If you have some more names that you describe your hair as, be sure. I also like to say that our hair is like a crown because it fits perfectly on top of our head. So for me personally, that is what I prefer, because again, there is not a clear line of how we're going to move forward with the word nappy. And even if we did kind of come together similar to the other N word and say, okay, this is going to be something positive, the history, there's so many generations that have gone through so many things. I just don't feel like it could be something personally that could be simply glossed over. However, I don't judge when other people, if they want to reclaim words and do what they have to do, I'm all here for it. So if someone else was on a different path in their journey to, again, handle trauma, etc., and they use nappy in a positive way, basically the intent, I would feel comfortable with them addressing my hair as nappy again if their intent was positive. But to go back to my original question that I had earlier in the video of how would you feel if someone walked up to you and said your hair was nappy? Would you feel like you were encountering a positive experience when it comes to your hair, or would it be negative? Again, for me, it would be a negative thing. I wouldn't enjoy somebody calling my hair nappy again because I don't know their intent. So that's where the nuance happens when it comes to the person's intent. And typically you will only know a person's intent if you're, for one, maybe you know them personally, or you're following them on social media, or you're observing them and you see that they're doing some type of movement, etc. Otherwise, we just won't know. So for me, nappy is a no for me personally. But you ladies, let me know what you think. Are you one to reclaim the power of the word nappy and use it in a positive way? Or do you just stay away from the word altogether? Also, let me know how you will feel about other races of people claiming the word, other admixtures calling their own hair nappy, etc. Be sure to leave any and all comments down below. But this video is just going to be short and sweet. I just thought it would be a cool topic to touch on, and I'm more interested to hear what you ladies think. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and to tell a friend because we are lit over here. But until next time, see ya.